So we're just going over 2 homework quizzes, block 3 and block 4, on kind of a different schedule based on needs in the classroom. So chapter 5-3, this is for block 4, and for some students in block 3 who didn't receive a very good grade. So make sure we know what we're doing. Number 5, you're just using substitution. It's saying, okay, if I substitute in this value, what is the output? What is the y value? What is the f of x? Okay. Well, you can do it by hand, and honestly, you should. This is going to be a negative 64, negative 12, negative 12. But if you want to make sure your work is correct, I would literally put it in like this. Some of you aren't realizing that you can just type in negative 2, parentheses, negative 4, closure parentheses, raised to the, and some people are like, how do I do the caret? It's right here. Raised to the third, plus 3x. Well, x is now negative 4 minus 12, 104. Okay. Describe the end behavior of this graph. Determine whether it represents an odd or even degree function and state the number of real zeros. So going backwards, real zeros are where we actually intersect at. We have 2 real zeros. And if somebody's like, well, I still don't get it. If something is if a function has, let's say, 3 zeros, but you only see 2 intercepts, one of those intercepts is an imaginary number. It's not really intercepting, but there's a solution. So I see here that across the axis twice, so I have 2 real zeros. So it must be an even degree function because both arms are going down. So it's either x to the 4th, x squared, I'm not sure. Here it says describe the end behavior. I'm approaching negative infinity, and I'm also approaching negative infinity. So as my x values get bigger this way, so as x gets bigger, f of x, what happens to it? So as x gets bigger, f of x gets negative. And as x gets bigger negatively, f of x gets negative as well. Make sure you take the notes for this video if you didn't. If you're like, wait, what? What are you talking about? It's in that 5.3 video. Make sure you've taken those notes. Last one, it says Shaniqua and Virginia are determining the number of zeros in the graph at right. Is either of them correct? Explain your reasoning. Well, both arms are up, so it's got to be an even function. X squared, x to the 4th, 6th, 8th, whatever. It says Shaniqua, there are 7 zeros because it crosses the axis 7 times. Well, you can cross the axis 7 times, but that means there's 7 real zeros. Another one could be imaginary. Virginia says there are 8 zeros because the graph crosses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, but there's a double root here. When you're tangent, we've talked about this numerous times in class. When you're tangent, it means you're touching at one single point, and it creates a double root, like say x equals negative 5 and x equals negative 5. So there's 2 zeros, but there's just one solution because it's tangent, okay? So Virginia is right. Double root on the x-axis, the polynomial function is tangent. Okay, so that's a 5-3 quiz. Now let's talk about the other quiz. 4th block, we did it in class. 3rd block, you were to take it home. This is everything we've done. This isn't a new lesson, but it's just reiterating the rational root theorem, okay? So it says Doug and Mika are listing all the possible rational zeros for this function. Okay, we have to make sure it's in proper order. So 8x to the 5th is actually first. So that's the first number. So it's a bit tricky and misleading. If you didn't do this first, then your answer would be different. So constant over a leading coefficient. So all factors of 16 are 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. Factors of 8 are 8, 4, 2, and 1. So combinations we could have would be 1 over 1, which is 1. 1 over 2, which is a half. 1 over 4, which is a fourth. 1 over 8, which is an eighth. 2 over 1, which is 2. 2 over 2, which is 1. We already have it. 2 over 4, which is a half. 2 over 8, which is a fourth. 4 over 1, which is 4. 4 over 2, which is 2. 4 over 4, which is 1. 4 over 8, which is a half. 8 over 1, which is 8. 8 over 2, which is 4. We have it. 8 over 4, which is 2. 8 over 8, which is 1. We have it. 16 over 1, which is 16. 16 over 2 is 8. Got it. 16 over 4 is 4. Got it. 16 over 8 is 2. Got it. So Doug and Mika have all the same answers, except for which ones? An eighth. We do have an eighth. Mika is correct. And explaining the reasoning is Doug would have been correct, but the numbers were in order. Needs to be in standard form. You could put so many reasons, but we could just say that. All right, it says a portion of a path of a roller coaster can be modeled by this function. So you're on a roller coaster. They want to know where it hits the 4 times the roller coasters when it's at ground level. All right, so we got to find all 4 of these. This is a big number for the rational root theorem, even though it tells you to use it. 1200, that's so many zeros. So I encourage you to use your graphing calculator. We go to y equals, and we type in x to the 4th minus 31x cubed plus 308x squared minus 1100t or x plus 1200. And so a lot of students had issues with this. Make sure you're on the right viewing window. Okay. Oh, because I can only see one. Let's go to Zoom, the Zoom standard. Okay. I'm supposed to have 4 spots. So I see, it looks like the number 2 and the number 4. Well, let's see if I'm right. So if you go to second table set, you want to go to independent. You want to ask your calculator an x value, and you want it to automatically get it out. So go to second table, and I'm going to say to x, does 2 an answer? Yeah, I get 0. Is 4 an answer? Yeah, I get 0. Is there any other ones that we see? Oh, I see one here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's try 10. Is 10 one? Yeah. So I need one more. So let's try this. If I use 2, let's see what I get. 2, I'm going to use synthetic division. 1, negative 31, 308, negative 1100, 1200. I'm going to drop the 1. I have a 2 here. I'm going to get negative 29. I'm going to get negative 54. Right? 58, sorry. Negative 58. 308 minus 58, we're going to get 250. When you double 250, you get 500. When you subtract that from the negative, you add it from the negative 1100, you're going to get negative 600. When you multiply that, it's going to be negative, and you're going to get 0. So at 2 seconds, we hit the ground. Then we're left with this polynomial. That's still a big number, so I'm going to have to graph that polynomial and see where it crosses. Or, oh, wait, I have a hint to help me. Use 4 or 10. I don't care which one you pick. This is just like that synthetic division quiz. If you did terrible on that, you need to go back and look at that. Here, let's use the rest of this polynomial to keep going. Put 4 as the solution, 1, negative 29, 250, and negative 600. Like I said, this paper that I'm going over right now is not new information. It's just kind of an enrichment and extension of what we've been doing. That doesn't make sense. Drop the 1 for negative 25 times 4. Oh, that's why. Duh. 150, not 750. Right, 4 times 150. Yep, 600. So 4 seconds. So the roller coaster is going to hit at 2 seconds, 4 seconds. And then let's keep going. We said 10, so let's use 10 now with the remaining polynomial we have. And if I do it, I'm going to get... That doesn't make sense. I drop the 1, I get the 4, negative, to positive 150. My apologies. Okay, positive 150, so then you get 0. Okay, so we have 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 10 seconds, And then where else is that roller coaster going to hit? So we're left with a remainder, constant x squared. So x squared minus 15 is what we have left. If we set that equal to 0 and we solve, I'm sorry, it's an x, we're just going to get 15 seconds. Sorry, I'm trying to make this quick. All right, so have you hit 4 spots? Yep, those are the seconds. All right, on the back, we have another one. It says, when this is subtracted from this, so when this polynomial is subtracted from, meaning this is where we started, the result is this. This is what we should get. It's saying, what do we actually get? Well, 7 minus b is just 7 minus b, x to the fourth. C minus minus, it's going to be plus 1. So plus a c plus 1 x squared. 5 minus 2 is 3x. 6 minus minus is 10. So this is supposed to be this. So we have x to the fourth, we have x to the fourth. So 7 minus b represents 5. Therefore, b equals 2. C plus 1 is x squared. Negative 3 is x squared. So c plus 1 equals negative 3. C equals negative 2. Oh, I have an ax cubed here, but I don't have an ax cubed here or any kind of x cubed, so it doesn't exist. Therefore, a must be 0. And lastly, here's a constant, so d is 10. Does that make sense? Of course it does. Okay. Just being silly. All right. Use synthetic division or other methods to find the value of k. So if this is our factor, we know that negative 3 must be the solution. So kx squared, x cubed, negative 2x squared, 1, and then negative 6. People like to drop k. That's going to be messy. I know that if this is a factor, I want 0 to be the remainder. Therefore, a positive 6 had to be here. Negative 3 times what gives you 6? Well, negative 2. Okay. Well, 1 plus what would have given me a negative 2? A negative 3. Negative 3 times what would have given me negative 3? A 1. And negative 2 plus what gives me a 1? A positive 3. Negative 3 times what gives me 3? A negative 1. So k had to be negative 1. Do you have to do it like that? No, but that's the easiest way. All right. Here it says p is of degree 3. You have zeros at negative 2 and a double root at 1. Well, if your 0 is negative 2 and a double root, meaning it's twice, then your factors were x plus 2, x minus 1, and x minus 1. Okay, when I FOIL, I'll get x squared minus 2x plus 1. Then I need to distribute here and get x cubed minus 2x squared plus x. You can always pause the video and go back and rewind, try it on your own, and then follow me. So you're going to get x cubed, these cancel, minus 3x squared plus 2. Okay. So it says write a polynomial function. I did. It says when I plug in 0, I'll get 2. Yep, we're good. All right, so that's that. But I just realized on the back of this, we didn't see it here. It says write a polynomial function of least degree with having zeros at negative 1. So the factor is plus 1. Here's the thing. If you have questions about this, you need to ask them in class or put it on the chalkboard. Homework quiz number 41. Okay. Now, if I have an answer of 2i, that's because I took a square root to get the I. If you took a square root to get the I, then you're going to have a negative answer and a positive answer. And you need to recognize that so you make sure that, oh, wait, I should have 2 answers here. It's giving you hints, but it's not telling you the full answer. So this is what you should have. If I FOIL the first 2, and then I FOIL the last 2 together, this is what I will get. It's going to be negative 1. So this is what we get, and these cancel. Now we're going to go ahead and distribute. So yes, yes, and then yes, Okay. We really should write pollen P of X or F of X, whatever of X. So like I said, I went really fast on this because you're not learning it for the first time. You're just extending your knowledge on it with a little bit of harder problems. Okay. Make sure you put these in the bin when you come to class. If you are an online virtual student, your homework's a little bit different. You're required to do the entire assignment. Okay. However, you can just do this one because there wasn't really an assignment on it. So make sure you do the homework quiz here if you're virtual. Other than that, do the actual homework assignment.